It's Friday afternoon, let's say 3 p.m. You are relaxed and doing what you're always doing on Friday afternoon at work. Working hard to meet those deadlines. Fixing stuff for people, reading up on professional journals, or more likely goofing off with your coworkers. Heck, it's Friday. Suddenly you get a phone call from up above, a very important suit. The man himself. Now, wait a minute. That would be too personal. Let's say you get a mail from his secretary's assistant. You are a good employee. He always watches your progress within the company, yada yada yada, progress in your career, blah blah blah. The bookkeeping department needs a new software system and you are the project manager for it. Congratulations. Huh? You start on Monday? I can feel your panic. Hey, I would go nuts. Project manager starting on Monday? Would it be great if you know anything about software project management? Before you run over to the next bar, relax, breathe. That is where I come in. You will be so glad you found me and this little movie. Okay, movie is a great word, but just hear me out for the next 15 minutes or so. I wrote a book, surprise. Now you're software project manager. So I must know this stuff. Well, all those years in the project trenches worked also miracles in that area. I will give you the rundown on what will happen to you on Monday after you get such an assignment on Friday. Once in a while you might see some very subtle, almost subliminal message about my book. This is just to make my publisher happy. Surprise! Now you're a software project manager. Surprise! I will work on that. Okay, your Monday morning will not go exactly as you have planned. You end up sitting in a room for 4 hours, listening to 5 employees of the bookkeeping department. You have no clue as to what they are talking about. All you get from this meeting are the names of 5 other departments that also use the current bookkeeping system, the names of 7 external companies that exchange information with the system, and 3 huge binders containing memos, short documents, Xeroxes and handwritten letters that explain exactly what the department needs. You spend the remainder of Monday making brief contact with the 5 other departments and 7 other companies whose names you have gotten from the first department. After this short round of communications, you can add another 20 names to the list of those who have something to do with the new system. Reflecting back on these developments later on Monday evening, you will consider taking a different approach the next day. You'll look into the current system and see what it does. You talk a little with your buddies in the IT department to see if they can help you get on the right track. Tuesday makes your state of mind even worse. From the IT department you get 2 additional binders with policies describing which technology and architecture the new system should use, which documentation should be included for the support people, and lots more. Oh, and you can add to this list another 10 names of people who have something to say about the new system. It starts out so simple, 1 man, 1 statement. After only 2 days you have a list of over 40 people you have to involve and 5 binders stuffed with what looks like requirements. And you know the best part? As a software project manager you will have to make them all happy. Your job will be to satisfy everyone's needs. Feel the squeeze already? Hey, and this is just where the fun starts. In a software project, we call all those people that are somehow involved in the project stakeholders. The entire process of software project management is strongly stakeholder driven. It's their wishes, their fears, their dreams, their stakes that determine the course of the project. You have to handle a project to really grasp the impact of people on your endeavor. You have to live a project to know the force of political games and power trips. You have to lead a team to cut over under time pressures, to appreciate the constructive power of motivated people or the destructive power of demotivated team members. I can keep telling you that people represent the most important aspect of a project, and I can quote statistics or research to convince you that the human factor is the only real concern of a project manager. But you will not really understand these concepts unless you have been there yourself. Once you have been there yourself, you realize that all the preparation and knowledge in the world will not guarantee success, because there is always that human element, the inescapable fact that people are involved. And in a project, it's the people that are the main cause of problems. Time schedules, financial projections, and software goals may be abstractions, but it's the flesh and blood people whose work determine your project status. It's the programmer that misses a deadline and hurls up everyone else. It's the financial manager that goes berserk if you can't produce some good budgetary indications. And it's the key user that doesn't give a darn but didn't tell you about his dismal lack of motivation. These are the folks who can cause serious trouble. Issuing the best procedures doesn't mean that people will live by them. You really have to be in the asylum to understand the lunacy of it all. If you haven't been there yet, take this important advice. Focus on the stakeholders. Be guided by their fears and their wishes. I know that this socio-psycho stuff is not the favorite cup of tea among technocrats, but being unknown shouldn't make it scary. In essence, it's even easy to understand. You are part of it. If you're a human, you can practice on yourself and try things out on your spouse and kids. Look around your office and try to think about how the situation there is different from the one at home with your kids. First of all, your children are more transparent than the people at work. They communicate directly what they want, and if they try some power trip on you, you immediately recognize it for what it is. I want ice cream right now is pretty clear. If they don't get this very nice cold snack, kids can use crying as means to get their way. And you may cave in, perhaps just to stop the annoying sound and, of course, the embarrassment of walking through the mall with your yodeling kid. Now let's start to focus on project management. Your boss or your employees will not be this explicit and predictable. They may try some mind games to manipulate you. Let's avoid being negative, so they will have the best intentions once you haven't figured out yet. But in essence, they have the same mechanisms as you and your children. People do what they do to realize their dreams or to avoid having their nightmares come true. In other words, to achieve their wishes or to escape their fears. Within the context of projects, those people are the stakeholders. What people really want can be termed their interest, or as I sometimes call them, their stakes. Hey, they're called stakeholders, remember? With fears, there is a